Hello everyone and welcome again to another episode of our tutorial series. Not the beginner guide this time, but we are going to the first episode of our intermediate level here. We finished in the beginner guide to learn how to use all these basics tool here, right? We learned how to use the move tool, the ellipse tool, the marquee tool, the selection, how to use the pen tool, the brush tool, every tool that we need to use in Photoshop, because those are our how can I say it, the daily basic and needs we will use in Photoshop. So we are going to start learning new stuff today in Photoshop. This is an intermediate level. What does it mean? It's just like we are going to continue in our series, the beginner guide. We learn the tools, the basics, and now we are going to learn new tools. What do I mean? Let's get started. So here in this corner, as you can see, I have this layer panel here, right? We talked about layer before. This is layers. We can move them, we can arrange them. Let me delete this layer here, just so we start from the ground. By the way, this is a picture of me. I will be using this picture to show you the example of what we are going to learn in this episode. We are going to see something very interesting in those layers. Remember, we talked about layers and how we can arrange them and make them one above the other, etc., right? But today we are going to learn how we can make those layers interact with each other. So we are going to learn more about layers and about their blending option. Let me explain to you what does it mean, blending options. So this is a picture here. I will create a new layer, and you know how to make a new layer, right? We click this button here, or we can do Alt and click on this button here, and it will show us this menu here, this new layer here. I will just name this one here filter, like this. Let's make it filter 1. I will click OK, and here we have this new layer. It's empty for now. This layer here is empty. We didn't do nothing on it. If I click B on my keyboard for the brush tool and I start painting, as you can see, I'm painting on my picture, but as we learned before, I'm painting on this layer here. If you click this eye here, we are going to make our layer hidden. If we click it again, it will show up here. Like this, we can hide the layers that we don't want to touch and just work on the other one. And of course, we can even lock those layers. As you can see here on the top here, we have this lock, right? I will zoom in the video so you can see it clearly. Here we have this lock here. If we click in this icon here, it means that this layer is locked now, and we can't draw on this layer. As you can see, I have this sign here that I can't do anything. If I click, it will show you this could not use the brush tool because the layer is locked. So if we click on this lock here, it will be unlocked and we can draw again on the layer. This is how you can protect your layer. So let me go ahead and click on this layer 0 here. Let's make this, let's rename this into me XD. By the way, to rename a layer, all you have to do is, of course, double click. It's really easy. Here we have this layer. I will lock this one so we can't touch it. So I'm going to click on this top layer and I will delete this one because I don't need it. I will make a new layer. We have to do this command here. It's Command Shift and N to make the new layer. We learned this before, guys, right? So let me just create this new layer here. Let me name it again filter 1. Let's give it a color. Let's give it a red color. Okay, so we can see this is the red filter here. This is a filter here. Now I will use my marquee tool with M, and I will just mark an area. I will make it roughly around let's say 500 pixel, like this. I will switch back to my brush tool. I will just pick any color because we are just doing this as an example, right guys? So I will just pick, let's say, this green color here. Okay, and instead of painting like this, we learned that there is a tool to fill an area with one color, right? So I will command Z to undo these movements. I will click G on my keyboard for the gradient tool, and I will click on my gradient tool here. I will just delete those colors here. Maybe I will use just something that looks simple. I will use this green color here, and let's make this also into a green one, greenish color like this. And of course I don't want this, I want this one here and this little guy here, and move it into just like this to make it even. And I will drag just from the bottom to the top like this, and here we have these wait, if I do it like this looks better. So I will hit Command D on my keyboard, and here we have this layer here. Now, what I'm interested in showing you this episode is to learn how to use the blending option for our layers. We know how to manipulate layers, right? We know now how to rename them, how to create them, but we didn't learn how to manipulate those layers, because you see in Instagram or other application they use those filters, right? When you take a picture, there is a filter that makes you cute or ugly, I don't know, or to make it looks like a meme, right? We are going to learn just a basic stuff on how can we do stuff like this. So for a starter, I will duplicate this one here with Command G. We learned this before, right? Or you can do it in another way. I will delete this one. I click Alt on my keyboard and drag this layer, and here we have a duplicate for this one. I will leave it just here for now, maybe move it like this, it's okay. Now I want to show you something really interesting. Look at this top corner here, we have this fill, we have this opacity here, and we have this normal here, right? What does it mean? It means that this is the layer. I will hide this layer for now, and I want to just focus on this layer here, in this top one here. Let me rename this one into layer 2, so just so we can make them clear. This is layer 2. It's normal layer because it's just a normal one with this color, green color here. Its opacity is 100%. We know what is opacity, right? So if I make the opacity like this, it will make the opacity transparent, right? So if it's 0, it's not even existing, it's transparent. So this is how we can change the opacity of our layers. Let me just make it 100% for now. And this is the fill. It just shows how much it will be filling. As you can see, it looks like the opacity, but this is a fill. We will not be using this fill a lot. We are going just to be using the opacity in the normal here stuff. So let me just make the fill 100%. Now I'm interested in showing you this normal here. This is what we are going to focus on this episode today. How can we use this blending option? So let's click on this normal here, and you will see we have a lot of options here. This is normal, dissolve, darken, multiply, color burn, layering burn. We will see what they do. So let me now show you this layer. Now we have two layers. They are the same, of course, right? So we are going to start selecting and switching from one type to another, and see how this will affect our picture. So let me switch this to dissolve, and you will see that it doesn't do much difference, because from a normal to this dissolve, it's not really this much between them. But if I switch this one to darken, let's say I will make this layer here will affect the layer below it and make it darker. It will try to darken the picture. And since we have our picture in the background here, if I click on this darken here, look what will happen. It's trying to merge with our layer here. It's making this layer darken, right? I will select now the filter number 1, and I will switch this one from normal into multiply. Now this will try to multiply this gradient here, this green one, and multiply it to my picture. just this side of this picture. Let me show you. Multiply, and here we have this multiply layer here. Now you will have a question. I'm pretty sure you will ask, wait, you said it will affect the layer below it, right? So why this layer here didn't affect the filter one and it affected directly this layer me? Well, I think you already know the answer too. If you look closely in my layers here, we have transparency here and transparency here, right? So let me hide this layer here and this one here to show you. This is my layer here. This is the me layer. This is the document view. Think about it like this. This is the view. So when I show this layer here, this layer fill only half this picture. So when I add this mode, this multiply blend option here, it will try to fill the whole layer. But since we don't have anything in this part of my layer, it will only apply on this green here one. So it will affect just half of my picture. This is how it works in Photoshop. If you have a transparent pixel, it means that you are multiplying something in zero. Nothing will happen, right? So the filter or the blending option we applied on our layer, it's already affecting the whole layer, but since we have this side of my layer transparent, it means there is no effect, so it's affecting just this area here. This is how layers work in Photoshop. And here we have this darken mode, and you can see this is making my picture looks darker. It's trying to darken the picture, and this one here is multiplying this green color with my picture. Let's see more options. If we choose this color burn, as you can see, it's trying to color burn. It's burning the colors. And if we sorry guys, and if we choose this one here, it's the linear burn. It's trying to make a linear burn. This is the difference. I don't want to explain the words, what they mean, like color burn or linear burn like this, because they are mathematical names. It's a linear burn. Anyway, let's just see the effects they do on the pictures, right? So I will now show you from this to darker color. As you can see, it's trying to see these colors into making them darker. And let me show you. I will hide this layer for now, and you can see this area here. I have this area is light, right? This area here is having so much light, right? So when I change this filter into darker color, it will try to make the light color into a dark one, right? And so as you can see, this green is merging with all the light spot. This is darker color. This is making the color dark. I don't want to explain every blending option here because it will take a lot of time, and I want you to experience them by yourself. Try to create another picture, or just pick one from Google and try to apply filters on it and see for yourself what will happen with every type you do. For this one here, let me switch it to this lighten. So as you can guess, it will try to lighten, right? So if I click this one, it's making this into a light color like this. Now I will pick this color here. I will make it into screen. As you can see, we have this screen one here. I will make it color dodge. It will be like this. And if I make this one into linear dodge, it add. It means we have these options here. And if I make this into lighter color, it will try to light the color all of them. I will select this one. I will make it into overlay. It's overlaying my picture. And this one here, I will make it into soft light. It's giving me these soft lights here. As you can see, there are already this difference from the picture. If I hide this layer here, as you can see, there is a difference between the first picture and the second one, right? As you can see here, around this area here, there is already a big difference. So those how we can use layers. I'm just switching between those options here just to show you how they affect the picture. I'm making this one like this, making this one like this. This is the divide, and so on. This is explaining the hue. This will make the saturation even like this, and so on. This is how we use those filters or those blending option here. They are really interesting, guys, and you can make your pictures looks better or bad however you want it to looks like. So let me just delete both of them. Let me select them and delete them. I will create a new layer just like this. I will switch back to my gradient tool and I will just do something like this, and I have this one here, and let's see what can we pick, right? So if we switch this from this to multiply, it pictures is dark right now, right? But let's make it into overlay. As you can see, we have this picture here. It's an overlay one, and we can select this layer and make the opacity, let's say 50%, like this, and just like this we changed how the pictures feel. It was like this, and now it's like this. It's like we added a new filter to our picture, and we changed the atmosphere of our picture completely just using with one layer, and just making one option, just one gradient, and it's even green. As you can see, it's green, and we have a base color, it is violet one here, and it changed the feeling of our picture completely. This is really nice, guys, and of course we can do more stuff. I will show you in the next episode what we are going to learn again. We are not done with layers, because this is mainly where you will be spending most of your time in Photoshop. It's in this layer area and how you combine those layers. So in the next episode I will show you something interesting, and it's those blending option here, right? We have other options. Those one we've seen here on the top corner, this normal, like this, etc. Those are affecting how the layer will be affecting the other below them. But with this blending option here, they are making effect on everything below them. How and why I will explain this in the next episode, and we are going to talk about this button here too, and it's the mask one. We are going to see how can we make beautiful pictures. We will be using just this picture here. I hope you don't find me this ugly. I know I am, but it's just for example, okay? So that's it for this episode. So I hope to see you guys in the next episode. I hope you like what we are doing here. And I hope that you already subscribed to this channel. If not, please hit the subscribe button. It's just below you. It's this red one here, you see it? Make it looks like a gray one, right? So you are one of us. And hit the likes button if you like. It will help me a lot, guys. And see you in the next episode. Thank you, guys, and love you so much. See you, guys.